Hello, here is Crypto and today is a special video because I will do an interview with the CEO of Reef project. Could you tell people who you are and what you do?
So thanks for having me here. So my name is Denko. I'm the CEO of Reef. I have a tech background myself. I started programming in early high school, around like first year. I started with C++, did algorithmic competitions for a few years, and then I moved into the commercial world. So I worked for like two different ERP providers. ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. So I worked for two of them, built some modules around warehousing, as well as some mobile apps for like mobile vendor, and those things are still used to this day. So that's great. And then after 2.5 years there, I moved into healthcare. So I worked for one of the biggest healthcare providers in Europe. They're valued at over 150 million dollars now. I was a tech lead there. Worked on like a very low level infrastructure for modeling the healthcare data. So I was there for around 2.5 years, and that's when I discovered crypto. My first experience was with NXT. Maybe some of your audience know and remember NXT, which then turned like it converted into Ardor. And throughout the years, I had a lot of experience with Ethereum, obviously it being like the biggest development ecosystem, as well as I did the whole like BitShares, Steam, as well as EOS. So I didn't mention I'm based in Slovenia. So the development community here is not like super big. Like we are maybe 50 blockchain developers in the whole country, and which means everybody knows each other. So around 2.5 years ago, we decided to team up and work together. So we work together on different blockchain projects as well as analytics projects. So the team is diverse. We have part of the team is data scientists, part of the team is blockchain engineers. Last year we were focused on B2B. So we did analytics in the crypto landscape, work for some funds. We provided some metrics for them. So they were, basing their decisions based on those metrics. And around end of November, December last year, we decided to fully focus on DeFi, and that's when we started working on Reef. And since then I've been working on Reef.
Okay, whoa. So today the CEO will answer all my questions about the project. I hope you like this type of video and you understand the project after the video. So first of all, what is Reef?
Sure. So before I tell you like what Reef is, I would rather tell you what our goal is and then expand on exactly what it is in the background. So our goal is to allow the average, investor who has no knowledge about this landscape to access this landscape with an extremely low barrier of entry. But additionally, besides the utility to access the instruments, you also want to augment like the whole landscape. And by augment, I mean he should be able to know what he's investing into, and he should understand the risk. So in short, I would say Reef is like the easiest way to get into DeFi and understand what are you getting into. So what happens is in the background, Reef has three different components. The first two are completely invisible from the user. They are infrastructural components. And the third one is the component with which the users interact. And this is the smart asset management. So what happens is we are integrating multiple DeFi financial primitives, as we call them. So financial primitives mean those are the building blocks of the whole decentralized finance. So we are composing on top of those instruments. And additionally, since I mentioned half of our team is data scientists, we provide analytics around those financial primitives. So we grade them with different risk levels. So when the user comes, they have access to pretty much all the DeFi instruments available, and they can choose their risk level. So from a user's point of view, you just come, you have different types of baskets. So a basket is a composition of different DeFi instruments, and then you choose your risk level, and with one click you get into multiple different activities, such as like lending protocols, so staking into pools, direct token exposure, and all of this with a single click, plus a basket will have multiple ecosystem support.
Okay, I hope everyone will like it. As security should be a top factor or for any platform, how does Reef ensure high resilience?
Sure. So that's a great question. So as I mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned, but Reef is fully non-custodial solution. So we are not holding the user funds. We are not saving any kind of data in our database. We don't own the funds. So the basket engine is holding these funds for you. So you don't even have to manage like all these LP tokens, all of tokens in your wallet. Like you don't care. You just come one click, you're exposed to multiple things. And we are based on Polkadot, so we inherit the security model from Polkadot, which is extremely strong and allows us to still have high throughput and inexpensive transaction fees. And on top of that, we are currently doing multiple audits for our smart contracts. And what we are doing on top of audits, like some other protocols that are supposed to and are not doing it, is we have programmatic limits on how much the whole engine can invest. So for example, we will limit this to maybe 100 ether at the start, and then this is still enough incentive for a hacker to hack it, even though as we've seen, like audit does not 100% guarantee unhackable smart contracts. That's why we took it like one step further. We added programmatic limits. We added like emergency exit functions, which if a hack happens, we'll be able to react right away and the users will get their money back. So basically, when it comes to security, we have a strong background in security, and we are going like one step further besides the other projects to ensure that the user funds are safe.
Okay, so another question is, Reef is powered by Polkadot. Why not Ethereum? Don't you believe in Ethereum 2.0? Successful launch?
Yeah, so I definitely do believe in Ethereum, not just the 2.0, but the current Ethereum as well. So the reason why we chose Polkadot, it's important for users to understand that Polkadot is not just another ecosystem, which would basically just increase the fragmentation in the landscape even further. Like, we have 5 things, and Polkadot is not the sixth like ecosystem. Polkadot's goal is to unite all the ecosystems. And the reason why we chose Polkadot is because of this. It's like internet of blockchains. So its goal is to defragment all the ecosystems. And through the Polkadot's interoperability layer, we're allowed to do that. And when you come to Reef, our goal is that you don't have to go anywhere else. So you will be able to invest in Kava, Cosmos, like Solana, like everything else. And that's the reason why we chose Polkadot. It doesn't mean that we are not present on Ethereum. We are actually very present on Ethereum, and our first version of the product incorporates all the important Ethereum DeFi protocols. So by saying we chose Polkadot, it's not exclusive that we are not on Ethereum.
Okay, so the next question is, why is a global liquidity aggregator required and do you have a mobile trading app for it?
Great question. So the initial version of the global liquidity aggregator is consumed by our smart asset management. So it's still not open for everyone, at least in the first version. And why it's needed? Because as we've seen, the more trading mechanisms show up, the more like fragmented the liquidity is, because you have like certain amount of liquidity on place number one, certain amount on place number two, and it's the more mechanisms show up, the more fragmented it gets. So we are integrating on chain with all the trading mechanisms. Why I call them mechanisms is because not all of them are like order books. Like some of them are auto market making, and new ones are coming, on weekly basis. So we're integrating with all of them, and it's used by the basket engine. So when the user invests, the basket engine is using the aggregator to choose where it should buy from and splits the order to buy from multiple dexes. Additionally, through integrations such as Binance Access, as well as Prime Brokerage, we will have also access to centralized liquidity. So the users can link their account with some of these brokers, super easy. They don't have to go to different exchanges. They don't have to put their API keys. Just provide the KYC once, which we will not save. So we are building a relay for multiple prime brokers. And this way we can achieve like a real global liquidity aggregation, because we will be able to plug both on centralized exchanges as well as decentralized. Oh, regarding mobile app, we are also considering mobile app, and we plan to start building one in Q2 of next year.
Okay, cool. So, does the Refinance team have a training and guidance system for newcomers to cryptocurrency? How do you attract and reach them?
Great. So actually, like Reef is not really like a trading platform on its own. It's more like an investment platform. So it's for people that don't want to just day trade and gamble on like small price movements. So what happens is our end goal is to onboard a non-crypto user, and we want to abstract away all the complexities for them. We don't want them to even see the Ethereum address, this like hexadecimal 0x something something. It's scary. So we are abstracting away order books. We are putting fiat gateways in place so we can onboard people with credit cards, and we offer like the onboarding experience also offers educational material, so you would understand what this landscape is. You would understand the risk. We will objectively say it's like this is the risk. You're not investing in like S&P 500. This is like a riskier asset on its own, which we further down, you know, uh, split into multiple less risky segments and or more risky segments. So yeah, we'll provide education as well as access to non-crypto users.
Okay, so the sixth question is, investors seem to only care about the price of the token instead of the real value of the project. How does your team attract newcomers and keep members long term with the project? What is the real value of Reef?
Sure. So I will answer this question like on basically I would split it into two. So the first one would be the actual user base that would come and use the product, and the second will be the actual people who will buy the token. So and hold it. So regarding the user first, because the user is the most important one, and if we make traction with the users, it's inevitable that the project will grow like and be top 50 on CoinMarketCap. That's guaranteed. Uh, because obviously user base is one of the most important metrics here. And what happens is our team has experience with building projects for multiple startups, both in the traditional and the crypto world. So our goal is to establish a feedback loop of what the users need and not just what we think they need. So this way, we are sure that we can find the best product market fit for our solution and that the users will want to use it because we provide real utility for them, not just some words that are supposed to mean utility. Regarding the people that are holding the token on the other side, is as you've seen in the Reef token design, we have the token fully incorporated throughout this ecosystem, which creates like a positive feedback loop in the supply demand balance, which means like whenever people come and get exposed to these baskets, if they make profits, like a certain percentage of those profits is not a fee, but it's paid in Reef token, which means the basket engine gets to keep like more liquid, uh, currencies such as Ethereum, which directly flow into the Uniswap pool. So we don't get to keep them. Eventually, we can do like a Reef treasury, which will further allocate, the funds into some other activities such as grants. So the token is built into the ecosystem to ensure a positive feedback loop. And as more users are using the app, it's inevitable that the demand for the token will go up.
Okay, what is the staking structure of Refinance token and how is the reward given?
Yes, so we have multiple staking mechanisms. So based on how comfortable you are, you can get into like a deeper staking mechanism. Let's put it that way. So for example, you can just lock your Reef in a farm and then earn like APY, which is earned through what the basket engine generates. Second is you can lock your Reef tokens in a longer term farm. It's a form of like a bond pretty much. So you can lock it on 6 or 12 months. You're getting even better APY. And the third one, which is the most rewarding one, is you can convert your Reef for LP tokens, which means you're not just earning from the basket engine, but you're all earning from the trading fees, and you can lock the LP tokens into a Reef LP token farm. And this one also provides APY, so you pretty much get exposure to all the income streams of Reef. And yeah, this is the how the staking mechanism works, and we will publish more details of how you can get involved. Currently, like these staking mechanisms are available to some of the to the private investors, but after TG we will release all the guides and mechanics behind them, so everyone will be able to participate in it.
Okay, another question. Can you tell us the motivation and benefits for investors to hold Reef in a long-term investment, and what plans do you have to help drive demand and scarcity?
Yeah. So again, like back to the token design as well as the growth of DeFi. So we are positioned in a way. So if I'm pretty sure like some of your users are familiar with Robinhood. So as the DeFi landscape grows, it's inevitable that the Reef's like user base will grow because we are B2C. So the customer is our main target, and you have all of those projects that are focused on the infrastructure, that are focused on like some governance, so only on some power users. We are focused on the very like top, and as DeFi gets more adopted, our project grows. And since the token is incorporated in the mechanics of the project, obviously the token grows as well.
In what kind of ways does Refinance provide security for their users' data? Your project is fully decentralized, but is there some risk of centralization in the future?
Actually, when you refer to like the custodial, there is zero centralization risk. Like we cannot stop this engine like when it's out there. We don't really control it. There is DAO that can modify certain parameters. We have the off-chain like analytics engine, which is sourcing data, and this is the one that creates the composition for you. But this has nothing to do with like all the on-chain allocation. So actually, long term, it has less and less like risks of centralization, even when it comes to the analytics engine, because we plan to move a portion of the centralized infrastructure on decentralized solutions as well. So our goal is in 2 years to be like completely, uh, hands off in terms of you started, you deployed to the available solutions, both centralized as well as decentralized, and just get the ball rolling, and then let the project basically obviously like we want to attract more developers so they can build on top of Reef as well. We are the core team supporting the product, but we believe a successful project is a project that attracts new developers that are basically participating in it and holding the token and adding new features and so on.
Okay, so the last question I made for you. What do you think about the future of the project?
Yeah, so the future of the project obviously is tied to the future of DeFi. We are strong believers in DeFi. We believe that DeFi is, what the internet did to the computer, that's what DeFi does to the traditional financial industry. And this landscape is still in its infancy. We're just getting started. And, since our success is tied to the success of DeFi, as long as we establish feedback loops and provide the right product that solves and helps users and provides some liquidity, where we are sure that this project has a long-term and bright future.
Okay, so at the end, please tell us the 3 points why people should invest in Reef.
Yeah, well, I cannot like we are not promising any kind of returns. The Reef at the end of the day is a utility token, but all the three important factors are that we have a decent, very very decent token design, which allows us to do things never done before, which we'll publish soon. Second, we are focusing on the user. So user is our first priority. So we are not focused on some, protocol like infrastructural layer that, of course it's important, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will bring users. So that's the second. And the third one, the fact that it's like a all-in-one solution. It allows access to multiple ecosystems at once. It's like the one place to go. It's like what Robinhood did to the traditional financial landscape, abstracting away all those complexities. So this is the one of the biggest value proposition, and that's why like the current investors invested, because they see the potential in this landscape. They see the potential in a product like this, and they see the potential in being positioned like we are.
So, this was our interview with the CEO of Reef. I hope you understand the project and will of course invest in Reef. Thank you so much, Denko.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks. It
Bye.
was a pleasure.